Letters of Swami Vivekananda, the new edition in 4 volumes. Letter number 622, addressed to Mr. E. T. Sturdy. Mr. E. T. Sturdy of England was an admirer of Swami Vivekananda and his host in 1895 during Swamiji's England visit. Before meeting Swamiji, he had met Swami Shivananda, a brother disciple of Swamiji in India. He was involved in the publication of Swamiji's Raja Yoga book. Care of Mr. Francis H. Leggett, 21st West 34th Street, New York, mid-November 1899. My dear Sturdy, this is not to defend my conduct. Words cannot wipe off the evils I have done, nor any censure stop from working the good deeds, if any. For the last few months, I have been hearing so much of the luxuries I was given to enjoy by the people of the West. Luxuries which the hypocrite myself has been enjoying, although preaching renunciation all the while. Luxuries, the enjoyment of which has been the great stumbling block in my way, in England at least. I nearly hypnotized myself into the belief that there at least has been a little oasis in the dreary desert of my life, a little spot of light in one whole life of misery and gloom, one moment of relaxation in a life of hard work and harder curses. Even that oasis, that spot, that moment was only one of sense enjoyment. I was glad, I blessed 100 times a day those that helped me to get it. When lo, your last letter comes like a thunderclap, and the dream is vanished. I begin to disbelieve your criticisms. Have little faith left in all this talk of luxuries and enjoyments and other visions memory calls up. These I state. Hope you will send it round to friends if you think fit and correct me where I am wrong. 1. I remember your place at Reading, where I was fed with boiled cabbage and potatoes and boiled rice and boiled lentils 3 times a day, with your wife's curses for sauce all the time. I do not remember your giving me any cigar to smoke, shilling or penny once. Nor do I remember myself as complaining about either the food or your wife's incessant curses, though I lived as a thief, shaking through fear all the time, and working every day for you. Footnote. At that time, Swamiji was translating the Narada Bhakti Sutra, a work published by Mr. Sturdy in 1896 in London under the title Narada Sutras, an inquiry into love. See Swamiji's letter to Mrs. Bull dated 5th October 1895. Footnote ends. The next memory is of the house at St. George's Road, you and Miss Mueller at the head. My poor brother Mahendra was ill there, and Miss Mueller drove him away. There too I don't remember to have had any luxuries, as to food or drink or bed or even the room given to me. The next was Miss Mueller's place. Though she has been very kind to me, I was living on nuts and fruits. The next is that of the Black Hole of London at 14 Greycoat Gardens, where I had to work almost day and night and cook the meals, oftentimes for 5 or 6, and most nights with a bite of bread and butter. I remember Mrs. Ethel Mary Johnson giving me a dinner and a night's lodging in her place, and then the next day criticizing the black savage, so dirty and smoking all over the house. With the exception of Captain and Mrs. Xavier, I do not remember even one piece of rag as big as a handkerchief I got from England. On the other hand, the incessant demand on my body and mind in England is the cause of my breakdown in health. This was all you English people gave me, while working me to my death, and now I am cursed for the luxuries I lived in. Whosoever of you have given me a coat, whosoever a cigar, whosoever a bit of fish or flesh, whosoever of you dare say, I asked for food or drink or smoke or dress or money from you. Ask Sturdy, ask for God's sake, ask your friends, and first ask your own God within who never sleeps. You have given me money for my work. Every penny of it is there. Before your eyes I sent my brother away, perhaps to his death, and I would not give him a farthing of the money which was not my private property. On the other hand, I remember in England Captain and Mrs. Xavier, who have clad me when I was cold, nursed me better than my own mother would, bore with me in my weaknesses, my trials, and they have nothing but blessings for me. And Sturdy, That Mrs. Xavier, because she did not care for honor, has the worship of thousands today, and when she is dead, millions will remember her as one of the great benefactresses of the poor Indians, and they never curse me for my luxuries, though they are ready to give me luxuries if I need or wish. I need not tell you of Mrs. Bull, Miss MacLeod, Mr. and Mrs. Leggett. You know their love and kindness for me. And Mrs. Bull and Miss MacLeod have been to our country, moved and lived with us as no foreigner ever did, roughing it all, and they do not ever curse me and my luxuries either. They will be only too glad to have me eat well and smoke dollar cigars if I wish. And these Leggets and Bulls were the people whose bread I was eating, whose clothes were covering my back, whose money bought my smokes and several times paid my rents, while I was killing myself for your people, when you were taking my pound of flesh, for the dirty hole and starvation and reserving all this accusation of luxury. The clouds of autumn make great noise, but send no rain. The clouds of the rainy season, without a word, flood the earth. Footnote: Garjati Sharadi na Varshati. Varshati Varshasu Niswano Megha. A popular adage in Sanskrit. Footnote ends. See, study those that have helped or are still helping. They have no criticism, no curses. It is only those who do nothing, only come to grind their own axes. They curse, they criticize. That such worthless, heartless, selfish rubbish criticize is the greatest blessing that can come to me. I want nothing so much in life as to be miles off from these extremely selfish axe grinders. Talk of luxuries. Take these critics up one after the other. It is all flesh, and no spirit anywhere. Thank God they come out sooner or later in their true lights. Now you advise me to regulate my conduct, my work according to the desires of such heartless, selfish persons, and are at your wits' end because I do not. As to my Guru Bhais, that is, brother disciples, they do nothing but what I insist on their doing. If they have shown any selfishness anywhere, that is my ordering them, not what they would do themselves. Would you like your children put into that dark hole you got for me in London, made to work to death and almost starved all the time? Would Mrs. Sturdy like that? They are sannyasis, and that means no sannyasi should unnecessarily throw away his life or undertake unnecessary hardship. In undergoing all this hardship in the West, we have been only breaking the rules of sannyasa. They are my brothers, my children. I do not want them to die in holes for my sake. I don't. By all that is good and true, I don't want them starved and worked and cursed for all their pains. A word more. I will be very glad if you can point out to me where I have preached torturing the flesh. As for the Shastras, that is scriptures, I shall be only too glad if a Shastri, that is Pandit, dares oppose us with rules of life laid down for sannyasis and paramahamsas. Well, sturdy, my heart aches. I understand it all. I know what you are in. You are in the clutches of people who want to use you. I don't mean your wife. She is too simple to be dangerous. But my poor boy, you have got the Mauns Gandha, the flesh smell, a little money, and vultures are around. Such is life. You said a lot about ancient India, that India still lives in some study, not dead, and that living India dares even today to deliver her message without fear or favor of the rich, without fear of anybody's opinion, either in the land where her feet are in chains or in the very face of those who hold the end of the chain, her rulers. That India still lives sturdy, India of undying love, of everlasting faithfulness, the unchangeable, not only in manners and customs but also in love, in faith, in friendship. And I, the least of that India's child, love you, sturdy, with Indian love, and would any day give up 1,000 bodies to help you out of this delusion. Ever yours, Vivekananda. Om Tat Sat.